What will Republicans do?
Republican Conference Chairman Congressman Mike Pence of Indiana joins me now live from Capitol Hill to talk about this. Sir, what is your take on the specific things that Republicans could do if they take control of Congress in November?
Well, I think it should be very obvious what Republicans will do, and that is along the lines of the proposals that we've been offering since early last year. Republicans had a stimulus bill that would have cost half as much and created twice as many jobs. We had an alternative on energy, the American Energy Act. We had an alternative on health care reform, an alternative on financial regulatory reform. And as we go forward and take our case to the American people, you're going to see Republicans lay out those plans, lay out a detailed budget as a part of those plans, and really give the American people a very clear choice, a very substantive choice going into this 2010 election.
You mentioned some very big things there. So if the GOP takes control, will the party then begin an effort to repeal health care and financial regulation, even if the intentions is to replace it with something else?
Well, let me tell you, I believe the House Republicans are committed to repealing Obamacare lock, stock, and barrel and replacing it with health care reform that will focus on lowering the cost of health insurance without growing the size of government. The Republican alternative, I know we get talked about a lot as a party of no. We actually have had substantive alternatives on all these bills. On health care, our alternative allowed Americans to purchase across state lines. It brought about medical malpractice reform, used those savings to cover people with pre-existing conditions. Those are the kind of ideas we're going to continue to bring forward to the American people, and I look forward to that debate and hopefully look forward to being able to implement those policies if we're awarded the Republican majority in this fall's election.
Is it just too much federal regulation?
Well, look, the House Republicans support reasonable regulatory reform. The bill that goes to the president's desk this week, we believe, is wrong on a number of counts. We think that it'll restrict credit, it'll kill jobs, raise taxes, and ultimately it'll institutionalize the rejected ideas of the Wall Street bailout. I mean, to put into the law the notion of too big to fail and to make that a permanent part of federal law and leave the federal government in a position of picking winners and losers in perpetuity is not what the American people want. They want us to reject bailouts, and they want us to pursue policies that will make credit more available and, frankly, Wall Street firms more accountable. Our proposal, our alternative, we believe would do that. We also believe you cannot pass real world financial services reform that ignores Fannie and Freddie completely, as the bill that goes to the president's desk this week will do.
Indiana Congressman Mike Pence, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So for Democrats, so much of their fate would seem to come down to the fortunes of President Obama. Now, he has spent the first year and a half of his presidency working to pass the Recovery Act, health care, financial reform, but it's really done nothing to help him in the polls. Take a look at this. On the Recovery Act, a Time poll finds 53% said the country would have been better off not spending it. On health care, a Bloomberg poll found 51% disapprove of the president's handling of the issue. And then on the financial overhaul,